Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna do a bit of extension of our coding challenge. So next week or week after, I have an interview regarding the business engineer or data engineer, and my role will be using SQL, Python, and OLAP and OLTP. So I don't know anything about data warehouses, ETL pipelines, or Snowflake or OLAP, OLTP. I only heard these terms in my second interview where I progressed to the next round, and then they told me to study these so that they can test my ability to learn. So yeah, I thought it would be a nice opportunity to share with you guys also um, what I learned. And it will also be a good practice for me. So let me share my screen and we'll dive right into it. Mm, Dele, uh, sharing screen. Yes. And we are going to use our favorite analytical tool, not OLAP, not OLTP, but Paint. So what is OLAP? OLAP stands for Online Analytical um, Processing. So you can already see the difference between OLAP and OLTP from what it stands for. So only difference is A and T. And this A is analytical and this T is transactional. So what it means is, so we're going to start with OLAP. So it is a system for performing the multidimensional analysis at high speeds for large volume of data. So the biggest difference between OLAP and OLTP is that OLAP works with a large amount of data, since this data is from a professional storage like data warehouse, data mart, or any kinds of centralized data store, it is ideal for people who specifically use the data as their job. Like for instance, the role that I'm interviewing for, like data engineers, business intelligence, as well as um, data scientists. Yeah, let's say. So the core of OLAP is what they call as OLAP Cube. So it is a abstract concept, but it is very easy to understand in a sense that it is just uh, referring to the multidimensional data where one element, these one edges refer to one element of the particular data set. So for instance, um, um, a company might have its sales figure, and then it might have different dimensions to it. It could be there could be the order date, time for the data to be dispatched, no, time for the order to be dispatched to the customer, the price of the order, and so on and so forth. So it it is written as a cube, but it is to imply that it has multiple dimension. It doesn't have to be a cube. It could have like four, five, six, whatever dimension it has. Just how many elements of this, how many elements the data set has. So it extends the traditional row column um, format of the Excel sheet that we have, or the data uh, relational database that we have, like pandas, for instance. Um, so, uh, for instance, if this one edge might imply that um, it might organize the sales by region, data analysts or data engineers can also drill down these layers for sales with more further information like state, province, which store it was from, so on and so forth. So these data for OLAP is stored in a certain schema that we're going to look at in our next video using SQL. Uh, on the other hand, OLTP, like I said, online transactional processing, it enables the real-time execution of data processing. So, uh, as comparison to OLAP being used by those specialists, is usually used in the front line. So, like front office, cashiers, uh, just any kinds of everyday transactions that's used in our life. So it requires just a fast processing, and um, this also processes a large number of transactions. It is just that those transactions are very small. Um, it's very tiny compared to the OLAP queries or um, analytical process. Um, so this is to enable the number of users at the time uh, in order for them to access the database. Like for instance, when you're accessing a certain website online, and lots of people are doing transactions at the same time. Let's say there's a new sneaker release and there's 6,000 people online. Yes, there are sometimes so much hype in these sneakers that so many people wait for these. And um, yeah, the server shouldn't crash. So that's why they use these kind of OLTP to allow the simultaneous rapid processing with response times usually measured in less than milliseconds. It's also available all the time, 24/7. That's one functionality of a web server, right? Or a website. Uh, Another difference between OLAP and OLTP is that um, mm, no, we already mentioned it. Analytical and transaction. Just to analyze and OLTP to for the transaction. Um, Processing time. So the number of differences are processing time. I'll just write it down here. Where's my text box? Okay. Yeah. So processing time is one. Let's put 20. By the way, sorry for all of you guys who tech commented that I should use a different software rather than Zoom. The only reason why I'm using this software is because this software is the only one that could comply with my laptop's current settings, or else other apps will just crash. So please bear with me. Yeah. So there's also availability. OLAP systems don't really modify the current data, so um, it is backed up quite relatively less often than OLTP, where it's processed constantly. So, uh, like like Aldi said, whether you use OLAP and OLTP or both, some companies, I learned that most companies use in real life both transactions. So they have their system on the front line. allowing customers to access the database that's available for everyone. And then there's OLAP that's usually placed in the back end side. So where data engineers or business intelligence analysts use to analyze data that would lead sometime to business um, process improvement in OLTP system as well. That's also inclusive. So yeah, I guess that's what I'll be working on if I get in. Also, I'm applying to many different positions at the same time, so I don't know which one I will get into, but it's nice to learn these stuff, and I would love to just refreshen my knowledge about SQL as well in the upcoming video. So yeah. Anyways, thank you guys all for listening. That was a rather quick one. Just remember, OLAP has data, OLAP Cube. OLTP doesn't really have that, but their use case are already different. So that sums up everything. I'll see you guys in the next video.